Hey guys, Joe Cool here. Welcome back to another tutorial. So, I just made a tree farm video. How could I improve upon that? Well, I can. So we're back at Crash Landing, and we're doing another tutorial because I didn't like the last one. I like the block gate because you can tell what's going on. For any programmer that's, you like to know what state an item is or an activity is before executing it so that everything's done correctly. The problem with it is a block gate or a block detector requires Nether Quartz. In order to get Nether Quartz, you've got to sift soul sand. In order to get soul sand, you need ancient spores. In order to get ancient spores, you've got a 1% drop chance from sieving sand. Well, that is a big pain. So I've figured out a way to improve it. Now, it does drop items on the ground, but you can probably tell where I'm going with this. But I thought I'd throw this out there with you. So there is a way to do it without the block gate. So if you want any more information on that, or if that's all the information you wanted, here we are. If you can go ahead and take off, and won't get any spoilers, but you can probably tell some of the stuff I've got on my inventory bar. So let's get to it. Okay, so again, you're I didn't get a dirt block. I need a dirt block. We're going with. So find a place where you're going to put your dirt. Now, putting your harvester, you can put it just about anywhere as long as it's within the range. Now, one of the things you may want to do, you can set for, without any upgrades on the harvester, you can set this up to manage 4 dirt blocks. So we're just going to do this one. So I'm going to actually set it here, and I'm going to build this in such a way where you can just build out the other 4 corners and connect it all, and it should be good to go. Okay, so the next thing you're going to want to do is we want a block gate facing into the block, and so we're going to want 2 of those. One of them is one air block away. And then you're going to want an item valve. If you're going to build this for 4, you're probably going to, obviously you're going to want your item valve here. But, well, we'll just chuck it there, and you can compact this. The only things that are necessary are, so this block gate is going to be the planter. Now, on the other side, it needs to be next to the dirt block, and the next block over needs to be an air block. Now, we also have, this one's going to be for bone meal, and this one needs an air block between the dirt block. So as far as everything else, it's not a big deal. Now, the next thing you need is a chest within range of the network. Now, obviously, this needs to be next to the harvester. Now, with these blocks where they are, you can add another section over here, one over here, and one over here to manage 4 dirt blocks. Now, with this configuration, you don't really need anything else. You only really need one. And I've used a leadstone energy cell because this is what you're going to have early on, and you can see how quickly the blocks get harvested, or how slowly in this manner. So I think this is outputting to the bottom. So in here you're going to want your bone meal and your oak saplings. So let's go ahead and clear out the underneath. And then we run some inventory cable. Now your machine inventory manager, you can pretty much plug this anywhere. I tend to plug it right here. So this will be kind of in the center of everything once you get going. Okay, so everything has inventory cable, and everything's in the spot it's going to be in. So the first thing we're going to do is we want to know, so this block gate is going to be the closest one that we're going to use, and that's the furthest one, and this one's pointing, actually the direction doesn't matter on these block gates, so don't worry about that. Alright, so we're going to create a trigger. Now this is going to be your timer on how everything kicks off. Now you're going to want 2 inputs and 2 outputs, and you'll see the reason for that in a minute, because one's going to be your oak sapling and the other is going to be your bone meal. So let's go ahead and start off here. Inventories, we're pulling from the chest, and we are going to pull oak saplings. And here we're going to output the near one. So that one's 6 cables away, and that's not the one we want. We want the one that's 1 cable away. And then that doesn't matter. So for the saplings, be sure to set this to 1. Otherwise it's going to try to put a whole stack out there, and that's not what you want. It just makes a mess. The input from the chest again, and we're going to do, this time we're going to do bone meal. And this needs to be set to 1 as well. And then your output is going to be the block gate that is not, the furthest block gate away. So that's going to be that one. And then that's blacklist. Okay. So that's your planting and bone mealing section. Now I'm going to turn this on, and you're going to say plant. So you're going to end up with all this stuff around here, and this is where the item valve comes in handy. Now you can do this with the normal item valve. So that's set to 1 second, and I put this over here simply because we want the item valve, and then it doesn't matter what side, and then we're going to set this to blacklist, so it's going to pick up everything, and then the output's obviously into the chest, and that's set to blacklist also. So we're going to set that there, that there. So once per second it's going to try and pick everything up. Now that apple was too far away. So now when you go ahead and you kick this off, so once a sapling is planted, it's essentially going to be dropping saplings on the ground, and that's where the item valve comes in to pick everything up. So if we look down here, we only have a couple entities in there. Now the other thing that's going to happen, if this is an air block or a piece of wood, the bone meal is going to fall on the ground. And again, that's what the item valve is to manage. Now the other thing you can do is you can add a redstone receiver and create a condition where the bone meal only goes off when you have the lever down, or everything only goes off when you have the lever down. So you can totally turn this on and off. So when you get like big trees like this, it takes a little while. So that's going to be one of the problems that you run into. But now it's just going to fall on the ground and pick everything up, and that's why the block gate. But yeah, so here you go. I hope this helps, and I hope you happy crash landing. Welcome to the planet. Don't die. So you can see stuff's getting kind of clogged up down here. So let's do that. That should pick everything up finally. Okay, so then instead of here, you can go with, for 1 gold block, which I think is, or 1 gold ingot, which I think is helpful, is you can do a rapid one, and that'll pick things up pretty quickly. So we're gonna go rapid item valve, and that's all you got to do. So then you can go ahead and pick this one back up. And then obviously if you have better energy capacity, that'll go faster. But what I found, as you see, is once it uses up its internal energy, it goes pretty slow. Alright guys, again, I hope this helped you, and if it did, let me know, leave a like below, and take care and have a good one.